And if you start trading size, what size? Well, it's relative. But if you start trading with size and you're thinking that you're going to do consistently a use of a 2 pip stop loss or 1 pip stop loss, and your broker's not going to open their spread to grab you, yeah, you're full of shit. That's exactly what they're going to do. And there's nothing you can do about it. That's why if you look across the spectrum of all those Forex brokers, everybody's high is different. Everybody's low is different because you're trading in their pool of liquidity. FXCM, Forex.com, all of them have their own little servers. And every one of those servers have a different high and different low. But you're not seeing it because you're not looking at it comparatively. But open up 2 accounts in the same brokerage firm and see if you're not in 2 different servers. They're going to be slightly different. But you signed on knowing that. You can't bitch about it. When you signed up and you signed all those papers that you never fucking read, just like when you buy a house and you buy a car, you open up a bank account, you're giving the money to the bank. You don't realize it yet, but you are. And they're promising that if we got opportunity to give your money back to you, we will. But there might not be a chance for that sometimes. And if we can't, then we're going to call your money an investment in the bank and we'll call it a good day. Thanks for your investment. See you later. Futures, bonds, S&P, NASDAQ. I'll go so far as to say Dow, but not as clean as ES and NASDAQ. Why don't I trade Dow? Because I can't fucking stand it. I look at it like the dollar. It's just a barometer. It helps me confirm something against the other averages. I don't look at Russell. Okay, I think it's garbage. You don't need it. The Dow, the NASDAQ, and the ES. That's it. You need one triad, 3 markets that are closely correlated. That's it. So when we look at precision elements in price action, you're not going to find anything cleaner than stock indices and bonds. There's nothing cleaner. There's no other market out there that's cleaner. That's also the reason why I can't stand crypto, because crypto is a full of shit market. Like it's got, look how long Bitcoin's is hanging around that narrow sideways channel. How many of you are losing your mind over that shit? That would drive me nuts. Like that kind of shit. Ugh. That reminds me of silver, decades ago. Silver would just do that. And then everybody would be making courses and books and shit. Silver's going to have a historical breakout. It's going to be in a long, narrow sideways channel. Well, and it's all the bullshit I learned from Ken Roberts, and lost my ass. First trade, 50% gone. That shit don't work. Okay, that's like gambling. That's like scratch offs, lottery tickets, the Powerball. You ever notice how the Powerball, since they did that scam job, and they said somebody won the $2 billion. First of all, they didn't do a drawing, and it's like slowly creeping up because nobody wants to buy a ticket. They're pissed off. They'll buy the Mega Million, but they're not doing Powerball. You see how easy it is for me to get distracted, and you want me to do a live stream and answer questions and watch the market too. Fuck that. I can't do it. You're going to have to just watch what I'm doing. I'll talk about it before it happens, and there it is. But I can't answer questions while I'm doing live streams. But you're going to have an invitation to be a part of a interactive learning process. I'm going to do my best to try to make it so that way you have to see it yourself and listening to my dialogue when it's salient. So when you're watching the price charts with me live on YouTube, I'll prompt your attention to certain things. And then I'll tell you, screenshot this. If you can't be there live when you're watching the replays, at that moment, pause the video and screenshot it. Okay? If you don't do those types of things, you're not going to get the results that you're probably hoping for, or at least not the results that I'm aiming for. If you do what I'm telling you to do, you will learn amazing things next year. You'll have a better understanding about what I do in the mornings and in the afternoons. How do I get my bias? How do I know what I'm looking for? How do I know if I should be trading today or not? What happens if I feel like I think this is a day I'm going to trade, and then things change that takes my willingness to want to trade away, and then I don't want to do anything? See, that's mentoring. That's the real shit that books can't do, a 1-week workshop can't do. You have to be with someone that knows how to do it, that's done it more than just in the last year. I got funded account. I'm going to start doing a mentorship. Fuck, get the hell out of here. You're teaching ICT stuff, so just stop. Save everybody's time and money. Give them their link. to my channel and it's done. It's easier. They'll respect you more in the end. But Friday, I went through the top-down approach. I went through the daily chart with you, and I mentioned in the narrative of everything, think about what yesterday was. Okay, I prompted this in a tweet. I said, think about what has been going on, who's been making money recently, the shorts. The market's been bearish. It's gone down. Yes, we had a rally off the lows on the daily chart, but year-end squaring of positions, that means folks that are holding positions that, for taxable income and things of that nature, if they're holding positions, what positions are they likely to be squaring up towards the close of the day? Well, if you're short or predominantly short, when people are closing positions on a short, they have to do what? They have to buy. So that's already a built-in advantage. So now think about why I said 38.64. Note that. Relative equal high. Note that. And I left you in the morning session. What did I teach you in the 2022 mentorship when it starts to trade in the afternoon session? You use the lunchtime liquidity. Where are the stops? If it's been going down, where are the stop losses in buy side above that lunch hour? The market's going to gravitate towards that. Unless it's a strong one-directional trending day, which isn't always the case. You have to be a trader working in markets that are not like that. But if it's one direction, just a big tear off right from the beginning type day, you either got to be in it from the beginning or you're done. just leave it, let it go. But if it doesn't have any kind of like real retracements of any kind, that's what I'm referring to. Those types of days, unless you're in at the beginning of the move, it's better just as this turn it off, come back the next day or whatever. But that's not what it feels like you should do at the time. You want to chase it, or you'll spend all day waiting for a retracement that never comes. It just keeps melting or keeps barreling higher. Those days cause people to blow their accounts because they chase and they chase and they chase. And even knowing that they shouldn't do it, they put on a bigger position to make up for the fact that they didn't get in at the earlier point. And in any little retracement of any single candle or two, which is insignificant in the grand scheme of that move, they collapse the trade because they can't handle it. And it still keeps pressing on. You've been there before, haven't you? I know what that feels like. I did that shit in oats. Thin, shitty ass market in commodities. I did that. And it was in a mood that just kept moving and moving and moving. And because I was trying to make up for the fact that I didn't get in when I knew I should have, I put in a bigger position than I should have. And every 1 cent move is $50, kind of like an ES. And when you're carrying 15 contracts and you can't really carry that much in terms of margin, it doesn't take long to scare you out of the trade. And 4 cents, 5 cents, it was enough for me. I had to bail it, and it would still keep going in the direction if I just would have held onto it. Never went to what I would have used as a stop loss, but I couldn't weather that pain. 20-year-old man, 20-year-old, no clue what real money was. Wet behind the ears in life. Freshly divorced. I had chip on my shoulder. I had all the things that you're going to complain to me about if we were sitting at the bar. Okay. You want to give me the reasons why you're not successful. Your father hated you. Your mother disowned you. Your wife cheated on you. Everybody's, hated you and shit on your entire life. Dude, I have all that stuff. Okay. I got all that shit. And that's none of it's an excuse for you not to be able to be successful with this. None. I was homeless. Okay. Trust me, I'm telling you, there's nothing you're going to be able to bring to this conversation that says that this is a verifiable reason why you can't make it work. Because that's bullshit. You have to have the tenacity to say, I'm going to deal with it and stick with it. And understand that, like what I did on Friday, walking you through the daily chart. And I outlined the fact that we are in what? The last day of the year. Now, the narrative I gave you and the reasons for it was this. Last trading day of the year, we're not expecting a lot of volatility. But let's note it. The previous day's high and the previous day's low. Which one's likely to get hit? Well, if you consider the fact that we're in our last trading day, it's a Friday, there isn't going to be new positions barreling in there. There isn't going to be this big rush to, I got to get in here. There's going to be a big move. Not on the last trading day of the year. They're not going to have that. So that means what? We're likely to have an inside day. How did I know that? I'm sure you're probably asking, like, I hope he answers, how did he know it's going to be inside day? Well, I've already said and what I've explained thus far But we also opened below previous day's low. I'm sorry, below previous day's high and above previous day's low. So at 8:30, when we start looking for something, and at 9:30, those two time periods are important. There's 2 hours of the morning session that you have to be in front of your charts between 8:30 in the morning and 9:30 in the morning, all the way up to like 10:30. I guess technically what? That's yes, it's 2 hours. That's your morning session. Now, if you haven't found a setup by then, don't. There you go. There's 80% of your losing trades now been removed. If you chase something outside of that 2 hour window, if you haven't found anything yet, don't wait for the PM session. How did I know that? Dozens of blown accounts. When I stopped doing that shit, I stopped wrecking myself. It's chasing things. That's all you're doing. It's FOMO, fear of missing out. Oh, I got to get in something. I've been here 2 fucking hours. So, what's 2 hours in the whole career lifetime of you trading? It's shit. It's nothing. Movies are longer than that, for fuck's sake. And you're trying to make a big deal about 2 hours of sitting in front of the charts and did nothing. You got chart time. You got experience. Stop looking at that as I didn't get anything out of it. See, that's the right now woke crowd perspective. And oh shit, I probably stepped in some shit right there. I don't care. This generation is too fucking lazy. And you're gonna have to find a way to fix that lazy ass if you're gonna make money in this, because even ICT can't fix lazy ass. That lazy ass syndrome, if you bring that into this industry, you're done. You're done. There's no way you're going to be able to cope with the wrestling match that this is going to put on you. And when you lose, you're going to feel like it's something that was done to you undeservingly when it was you that invited it, because you're doing something in a hurry, ill equipped. You don't know what you're doing. You're rushing and you expect it to be easy for you. Let me tell you something. It's not easy. It's not easy. Once you learn your model and you know what it feels like to get your ass burned and you know the consequences of doing stupid shit, you know boundaries. Kind of like that yellow double line in the road. Don't cross that son of a bitch, because if you do, you know what's going to happen. Bad stuff. And you might not be here long after doing it. You're going to have to be personally responsible and making decisions where financial success or ruin is all on you. All on you. A lot of you that are young don't like to weigh that out and say, you know what? It really is all on me. Yeah. And that's a terrifying feeling. And me being in a live session with you next year is not going to remove that. In fact, for those that are going to make the mistake of trying to take a live trade based on what I'm saying live, you're really going to be shitting yourself, because once you put the trade on, and I'm not saying the things you want me to be talking about, you're going to see, say, for instance, I'll paint a picture for you. Say I'm calling the market to a specific high above market price. And I'm saying, I believe the market sentiment right now is prime for a run on buy side liquidity. And I have this level here. Let's study this. Right away, some of you are going to be like, oh shit. That's it. Daddy just gave me the invitation. I'm going in. How much margin can I afford? Right there, you done fucked up. Number one, you're trying to press a button instead of watching price and learning to read each individual candle. Not, I just bought it. I don't even know where I should have bought it, but I heard him say it's going up and I got time and I got to get back to work. I'm on my smoke break. If my boss sees me fucking with this phone, I'm going to get fired. I can't afford to get fired yet until I learn how to make this money, because this year I'm going to over leverage my funded account and I'm going to be independently wealthy and I ain't got to worry about this shit. But I'm going all in. You're laughing right now, but you know damn well that's what you thought you were going to do, and you shouldn't. Don't do that. You're not going to understand how to reprice if you do that, because if you go in and let's just say you foolishly press the button and you get in even a small position, the smallest leverage you can afford to put on, or the broker will allow you, and then you're in there. You're going to be watching the profit and loss going up and down, not reading the individual candles like I want you to do. See, you got to get yourself in sync with how these markets book, minute by minute, second by second, interval by interval. You cannot be a divided mind. You can't have your attention elsewhere and learn properly. If you're watching that PML tab on your open position while I'm doing a live stream, you're fucking doing it wrong. And you are going to fail, even if that trade makes profit. Because once I pack it in and the close of 2023 comes and you have to do this all by yourself, it's going to feel like the weight of the world is crushing on you. You're going to be scared shitless when you have to make the decision on your own because you've wasted your time trying to catch what you're thinking is easy money instead of taking the opportunity and placing in all of your hands to learn how to do this in an environment that is safe. You can't hurt yourself. You can't hurt yourself. Now, it might bruise your ego for some of you that thought you knew how to trade. And when you see the things that I'm going to teach you, that's fine. You can come back from that. But it's real hard to come back from putting money behind a trade that you don't even know why it's likely to move. You're just trusting me. Don't trust me. Not on the face value. You want to go into the charts and do it. See it. Earn your own personal trust in these concepts. And that's why I've always openly challenged. Don't take my word for it. Go in there and try to debunk it. Notice how no one's ever been able to successfully do that. Yeah, because you can't. I am the algorithm. I am the author. It's mine. And I know it. And I am welcoming you all to join me, and I will share it. I will show you all these little pieces that come together, and you'll find one good opportunity per week. That's your career. Everything else, that's all on you. But you want to find a way to outpace inflation? You don't have to pay me for that. I'm going to teach you how to use what I've already given you. Where's there a better deal in town? Where is there anyone else out there making it this accessible with proof that it has precision that's unrivaled?